As a special treat for the 50 milers, when you get to the checkpoint on Shipley Glen, you're going back along the glen, so you might see some runners coming towards you before we disappear off to the left. I'll show you when we get there. After 2/3 of a mile, when you see that post ahead of you, we go off to the left and down off the glen. So you came from that path to the checkpoint, and now we're going down here. We drop down to a stream and cross over a bridge and bear round to the right, staying on the main path. That track becomes Saltaire Road, and at the end of Saltaire Road we're turning right on the main road and crossing when you can. And then we're turning left on the green, which is the first on the left by that white house. Turning the corner, and then we stay on this road for a while until it becomes more of a track, and then we're turning off to the left at a corner. Ignore the public footpath that crosses the road at this point. We haven't gone far enough yet. The road turns a sharp bend to the right where it becomes more of a track, and we turn left going up this rocky, slightly damp footpath. At the top of the path becomes a little bit drier and a little bit less rockier, and at a house it turns left 90 degrees and carries on, and we carry along this until we come out to a road. At the top of that long drag we cross over the road, going to Lower Heights Barn, and we start up the driveway, but the footpath carries straight on, so don't turn around to the left to go to their house, go straight on down this little enclosed footpath, at the end of which is a gate opening out onto a field, and we go diagonally across to the right. You can just about see the footpath in the ground. As you get to the top, you can see the far corners where we're going. Now we're at the far corner of the field. Don't go through the gate, it's all barbed wire off. We go through the well, it's supposed to be a stile in the wall, gap in the wall, across to the next one over that way. The same at this one. Well, there is a gate, there's a stile to the left, and carry on along the next field, keeping on the left hand side again. At the end of this one, again, don't go through the gate, we're going over the stile and turning right and going down the Ginnell into a small housing estate. And when we emerge into the road, we turn right, going slightly downhill, and then we take the first left, again going downhill, and cross over to the right, because here we're going right, and straight on and out to the main road. At the main road we're turning right, going slightly uphill, and when the footpath starts at the other side of the road, cross over. When the road bends around to the right, we're going straight on and going downhill. Quite a steep little descent down here on Green Hill Lane. As we round a left bend, before a big left bend, just before the first house on the right, you can see the footpath sign, and so we're crossing over and going down that footpath to the right. an enclosed footpath. At the end of the footpath, come to a house, and we go up to the right on the access road to the house to avoid going through their property, and follow this round. Don't follow the road round when it gets to the first corner, and you can't go through the gate. Go through the little gap in the wall by the gate and carry on to the next house, to the next gate. And at the next gate there's a gap in the wall next to it, a little step through. Here we go, out to the road and turn left going downhill. We then take the first right Beck Road, and after this first house we go left. So don't carry on down Beck Road, go around to the left over the cobbles, and the footpath carries on round to the right. Down to that gate. At the gate we go through and carry on the footpath going downhill. At the bottom we go over a stile and round to the right, and then we're looking to get into that field there and go down to that gate at the bottom and cross the stream. So that won't be too long along here. And here we go. Don't carry on the path, drop down just here and go through the little gap in the gate. Oh, tight squeeze. Must get on that diet again. And down the edge of this field to that gate. Through the gate and turn left. Then over the footbridge and keep going straight on. The footpath then turns round, then turns left at T-junction and go along to the end where we'll be at the Leeds-Liverpool Canal. Up some steps through a gap in the wall and turn left, crossing the canal via the bridge. Keep on your left hand side, it's a bit narrow but we're turning left, and then we're following along the canal. Follow along the canal until after Five Rise Locks. After about 1.5 miles, come to the Three Rise Locks, Daymark chimney on the left, and we're crossing over the dual carriageway via this pedestrian bridge. At the end of the bridge, turn left, and we're crossing this road at the pedestrian crossing, and when we get to the other side we're turning left, and then immediately right, crossing as soon as you can because there's no footpath on this side, and then the footpath is just here, a snicket which will lead you around to a footpath, and that footpath takes you alongside a river, and we stay on this for a while. That footpath opens out to a park, and we carry on the footpath for another 20 metres or so. That bin ahead, we're turning right there, and we're crossing over the footbridge over the river. Here we go, over the bridge. At the other end of the bridge, going off slightly to the left and into the woods and up some steps. At the top of the steps, T-junction, path goes left and goes uphill. At the top it levels out and the footpath carries on with a fence and a field to the right and looking down to the river below. At the end we go through a gap in the wall and go straight on, and between those wooden posts we actually go through someone's garden here, but it is the public footpath. Straight through out the other side and carry on the footpath. It drops down and goes round the corner. It's pretty obvious where the footpath is. The footpath drops right down to the river, or a tributary of that river I should say, and goes across a grassy bit and then through the gap in the wall ahead and over a bridge over the river. The other side of that little cobbled bridge, straight on the road. There's a ford there, quite difficult to cross at the moment. Anyway, ignore the footpath off to the left, we're carrying on. At the end of that road, go straight on, joining the pavement on the left and out to the main road. When you get to the main road, a little bit tricky, but we're on a bend, on the outside of a bend. Got to cross it and go through the gap in the wall opposite and down some steps, which then lead to an enclosed footpath which we follow with the river to the left. That path eventually leads out to some playing fields, and we keep to the left by the river all along here. That path then leads into some woods and onto a walkway. The footpath used to go across there, but so much erosion on this corner of the river with a lot of recent storms and high water, and the original footpath collapsed into the river. So they built this, which hopefully will survive, but over the course of years this will probably turn into an oxbow lake eventually as it pulls across, and then we're about to go underneath the bypass on the the footpath through the woods. For a short while the footpath climbs away from the river, and you can see a welcome way sign there. Goes through this gap in the wall and adjacent to the wall on the right, and then at the other end of the wall section, don't go right, keep straight on and keep the river to your left. This can be a slippery path at times along here, and we go around here to the bridge ahead. We go underneath the railway bridge and then look for the footpath off to the right just after. So we take the footpath which bears round to the right, going uphill into Hurstwood. At the end of that footpath through the woods you come to a car park, and go through the gate and go to the left of the car park, and we're going up to a lock on the canal, and that's where we're crossing the canal. So cross the canal and carry straight on. There's a towpath to the left and right. We're not going on those, we're going down Hurst Mill Crescent, and then we're turning right, first right. Here we go, first right, and follow this footpath along to a bridge. So we go round this interesting looking bit structure, and then we're crossing the footbridge over the river. At the other side of the footbridge, carry straight on this footpath between the houses. As you get to this road, cross it and go to the left and follow the footpath up to the left and out to where that bus is, the bus stop. We're going out to that road and turning left. When we get out to the road, turn left, and the footpath goes off through the gap in the wall there, Coach Road, and this is the footpath that goes up back to Shipley Glen and the checkpoint. Don't turn off it at all, there is a left turn, ignore that and go straight to the top. So at the top of that long climb up Coach Road. There's a pub there, Old Glen House to lease. It'd be a great place to have a pub. And as we come out, look over to the left, that first building on the left, you might recognise it, and that bend sign, etc., that's where the checkpoint is. Your second chance at your drop bag.